Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have a lot of people that I'm seeing connected today because we are have an amazing conversation. Let me introduce myself. My name is Santiago Martinez. I'm the lead of Intelligent Automation Services here in Teleperformance. And of course, we are going to have a great topic to discuss is how can intelligent automation foster the customer experience. And with that in mind, of course, I have with me, I'm gonna just give the ball to Steve. Steve is one member, a key player now in Automation Anywhere, and of course, Automation Anywhere is one of our key partners. So, uh, just dropping the ball to you, Steve.
Good, awesome. Good morning, Santiago. Uh, Really happy to be here. Steve Shaw. I am the Senior Vice President of Products over at Automation Anywhere, covering RPA and, of course, our cloud platforms. And I'm really looking forward to our conversation today, Santiago.
Awesome. So, Steve, let's start talking a little bit of how we can have a little and basic explanation about what is intelligent automation and what is so important nowadays.
Oh, great question. Intelligent automation has been an extraordinarily transformative initiative that so many companies are undergoing right now. What intelligent automation does for an organization is it allows them to bring the best parts of RPA, that is robotic process automation. How do I build simple task based automations that are able to go and manipulate traditional applications to do basic tasks? And then brings in the best of artificial intelligence so that you're able to bring in an AI element to that. In essence, how do we make our automations think and make better decisions along the way so that they're able to go and do more without needing a lot of our help?
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. And of course, with that in mind, just let me give you some examples. As you know, Teleperformance, we are managing a lot of customer experience, but also a lot of back office operations. So just let's jump into some of the examples that we can do around using intelligent automation, improving our services. And just of course, I'm just gonna do an open door here, but Steve, you're one of the experts here. One of the things that we are doing here in Teleperformance is how we can increase our agent experience. We need to reduce the friction for our persons in all the process that we run, but also in the back office piece is, nowadays the process need to handle a lot of documents. A lot of documents need to be classified. Just give an example of an invoice processing or just a claim order processing. So we need to figure out how we can contribute that we can focus our human resource in the key pieces of the process, providing the right value to the process and of course to the interactions that we are seeing. And this is one of the key benefits in the use cases that we are having for intelligent automation. Steve, your insight will be great here,
Yeah, so
and of course recommendations.
we're seeing these automations take place in countless areas. One of the really exciting places that we're seeing this is actually in the front office as well. Since you mentioned back office is very popular for automation, but we shouldn't lose sight of where there's opportunity in the front office. We have seen, for instance, many large banks that are now using RPA combined with some AI with front office processes for being able to handle their customer engagements with much more speed and accuracy, and it allows the person on the other side of the banking conversation to focus on the customer. So rather than worrying about putting the customer on hold or asking them to wait and where they have to type in a bunch of actions into their computer, a bot will help them out through the process, taking frequently done tasks, automating them, and then allowing the human to stay focused on the other human in front of them. This improves the customer experience, of course, speeds the total operation and the total call handling time, and then makes the customer satisfaction significantly better.
Awesome. Steve, just let me shoot to you an additional question because,
Mhm.
of course, what we are talking right now is about the good things that we can do around intelligent automation. But in your concept, uh, what do you think about what is going to be the future in the companies using intelligent automation?
For a lot of organizations, intelligent automation is an opportunity to really look at what transformation is going to be for their company, their market, um, for their teams. In the case of a lot of organizations, are rethinking what the future of work is going to entail. How do we get our teams focused on high value operations as opposed to spending so much time on more monotonous or less valuable tasks? And so, with a lot of automations, RPA gives us the opportunity to think about the world not just kind of from a tops down perspective where we're looking for exclusively the big automations we can do, but what are the countless hundreds into thousands of smaller automations that can be done across the organization in every line of business, across every function in the organization? These allow the organization to react to their customers significantly faster. It allows them to think about where they're going to go and open up new market opportunities significantly faster. And when suddenly there's rapid shifts that require fast changes, how do you react to those changes very quickly? Um, when COVID hit and suddenly there were laws being passed all over the place for things like deferring mortgage payments or deferring bills. These were things that had a profound impact across a large range of people. Suddenly, though, you had to do things like figure out how to update millions of records to be able to say the next due date for a payment is not next month, but it's 6 months from now. And without being able to use intelligent automation, the business would have no way of being able to react very quickly. A similar situation happened in healthcare. In healthcare, we had a situation with the UK National Health Service. The National Health Service needed to roll out all of this data collection. So, as patients were coming in with symptoms of COVID, they would have a way of being able to collect the data quickly and get all the analytics they needed to understand what was happening countrywide and where they needed to have additional caution placed. With the use of automation, they were able to quickly scan documents that were coming in, take those documents, turn it into structured data, and then be able to process that with back office processes. That was something that could have been done in literally a few days, whereas without having to use intelligent automation, that would have easily taken weeks, if not months. Far too slow for the reaction times that were needed when the original COVID outbreaks were happening.
Awesome, Steve. And you just start mentioning some of the specific benefits. And one of them, of course, is the challenges that all industries has. You just mentioned one, that is time to market, because you
Mhm.
can start building the intelligent automation pieces in a very short time, but also you need to identify what is going to be like the next steps in order to start increasing the capability or the scope, or also how the automation that has been designed and built can be more transactional and spread across the different process. So let's start talking a little bit about the benefits when we are having intelligent automation inside of the processes. And I'm just gonna add some KPIs that we traditionally handle, but of course, your insight is going to be great that can be shared today. First, as I mentioned before, time to market. I think that technology is right now available when it's not rocket science. Of course, you need to have some uh, idea of how technology is used and how you can connect the different components. But also, let's start thinking about how we can help to reduce the human error in different and repetitive tasks in terms of calculations, in terms of classifications, and of course, at the end, we need, because this is in some cases all the repetitive tasks, all the operative tasks goes that the human gets bored. And if the human gets bored, so he's more propensive to commit errors. And then, of course, Steve, if you can share some of these big benefits when we are using across, as you mentioned, in different verticals, in different kinds of automation, will be great to have your insight.
Definitely. This is you. The one that you mentioned, time to market, is I think so critical. We are seeing market changes happen so fast, especially now with so many global changes happening. What we thought we were going to do this month suddenly changes on us because some global event happens and we have to react to it. Our ability to be able to quickly react without having to wait for long, drawn out IT processes is absolutely critical for the future of how business is going to operate. Every digital first business that we see out there, these are companies that started thinking digital first and came back and they've transformed their respective industries. We've seen this in finance, we've seen this in healthcare, we've started seeing this in automotive. Oil and gas has been on this forefront for a very long time. All of these industries are being driven by being able to go and see the changes in the market and not having to wait for IT to catch up. By having this forward thinking approach and being able to say, hey, we need to shift the business this way, and that requires our internal processes to change. This requires that the data that we're collecting to change. This requires the data we're processing to change. Each one of these can only change quickly if we have the tools that empower a broad set of people to be able to build them. And with intelligent automation, we empower all of the business users, the ones who actually understand what's happening with these transformations, to be able to make these changes without necessarily waiting for an IT expert. So this makes a radical shift in terms of how fast you can bring new ideas to market, how you can react to market changes. And then, of course, all of this sums up to the end. How do you make the customer experience better? You can only make the customer experience better if you're reacting to their needs before they realize they have the need. With intelligent automation, the tools are there for you to be able to do this.
Okay, and let's just jump into another and very interesting topic. When we are thinking about automation and when we are thinking in combine automation plus artificial intelligence, so the first question mark is, are we gonna replace human labor with these kind of technologies? So with that, I think the first and firm answer is no. I think that we need to push all these kind of technologies that really reduce the non-value added task for the human. Let's keep the human touch. Let's keep the human flavor in that transactions in CX or in back office operation when we really need our human brain, when we really need the human touch. So if you are thinking that maybe someone using intelligent automation plus artificial intelligence, you're gonna lose your job, it's the opposite. It's reimagine your role, go beyond the border, because what you are gonna have is a great bunch of tools that is really helping you to get better results in your day by day labor. Uh, with that, Steve, I don't know if you want to do one final comment around this very interesting topic, because it's also one of the things that maybe concerns a lot of people when we are talking around this.
It's a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. Uh, this is Nobody wakes up excited to do a dull job. Nobody does. And I think that the potential of automation is transforming what the nature of work is, so that we're each spending our time on those tasks that engage us and require that level of creativity, that make something exciting, that make us happy with our days. Uh, I'm reminded of a uh, one of our customers who once told me that it is impossible to automate 100% of any job. uh, typically you will get 30% of a job, but it's that 30% that makes the other 70% so much better. And if you can spend 100% of your time on that 70% task, you are going to have much higher quality work. The opportunity to innovate is so much greater. And I think for all of the people who are involved by this, the people who are affected, this is absolutely a positive. This is the kind of work that we are trying to get to. This is the kind of environment that I see so many people on the internet discussing that they want to be in. How do we get there? And I think this is a tool that will help us make that shift.
Perfect. So I think we are running out of time. We can spend a lot of talking a lot of time. We really are passionate, both of us. But I first want to thanks all the people that is watching us, and I encourage you, please, reaching out to us, do some comments around. Thanks, Steve, uh, for being part of this. If you have some last minute comment from your side.
I should warn you, Santiago. My last minute comments will go for another 15 minutes. Um, but thank you very much for the great questions. I think that we got to discuss a whole range of what's exciting in intelligent automation. And thank you to everyone who's listening in. Good luck with your automations, and we look forward to partnering with you.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Thanks, everyone. And of course, I'm going to take note that session two is coming soon. Thanks, everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.